There's a lot of work on subduction, on different chemicals, reaction, whether you got water there, when it breaks away and so on. But none of that relates to my work because I've separated subduction from tectonic forces. My equations relate to tectonic forces, tectonic movements. Subduction is a result of the movements. At the moment, there's nothing that's measurable in tectonics.
Really?
No, they're all, everything from Hess right through to the Wilson cycle, even Professor Scorsese animations, which I've contacted him on, all of them work on the fact that there are currents in the earth, heated convection currents, which are responsible for all of that activity. And I argue that that's not possible.
You can measure, for example, that North America is moving southwest at a certain
Yeah, they know it's all moving, that they can measure.
Yeah. So
But they don't know why it's, but the reason for the movement is what they haven't got right. You know that the movement has happened. They were able to, Dutoy, I think in the late 50s, was able to marry up all the coal fields right from Pennsylvania through to Europe. So he knew we were all together. Also, the paleomagnetic lines told us we could jiggle and pass it and know what packages were together that right. So the continental fifth of Wagner is not in doubt. What is in doubt is how does it occur? And the original thinking was when Hess was mapping this Atlantic during the war, he noticed all the gyots and the cracks and the, you know, but it was only when Alvin the sub that laying the Atlantic cables realized that the magma was coming through the mid-Atlantic ridge. The magma is pushing the continents apart. And I say there's no, as the paleomagnetic lines are not distorted, there is no force from the magma. Something else must be pushing it apart.
Okay.
And that's what said, when I saw it was inclined, that hold on, can I model this on the stresses relating to an unbalanced rotating body? The circumferential stresses.
Okay, the other area of tectonics at the moment that I've been aware of, the slab movements.
Well, what happens with the slab movement is the lithosphere, the oceanic lithosphere, bends underneath the continental plate, and they ascribe to this slab, the weight of the slab is what is actually a major force in pulling the continent in a reverse direction. Well, it's a hell of a job to get a pulley system to do that. So, but also the slab breaks away when it gets deep enough in the asthenosphere. It melts or breaks off. There's a system called rollback. Sometimes it falls off this way, sometimes that way. But when it does that, you go over all the accretionary wedges in front of the continent start to compress. It gives us our lovely rolling hills and dales when it's all weathered away. So it doesn't stop when the slab breaks off. Therefore, it's got no effect on tectonic movements. Because when it's not there, tectonic movements are still there. Therefore, what's pushing it? Momentum.
Okay.
You know, once you start a steamroller going, it's a hell of a bloody job to stop it. What doesn't add up is when you look as an engineer at the Hess forces, they don't add up because you can't, there's no actual numbers. Also, if you take South America, which is now nearly 5,000 miles away, measured from Brazil, I think it is, to Zanzibar, whatever it is, and the ridge is halfway. Well, that means that that particular convection current must have stretched over 140 million years without co-mingling with another convection current in a conductive media. And as an example, I said, if you hold a spoon in hot water at that end, at this end, it gets hot very quickly. So, and to expect that one convection current to go this way and another one to be going in the opposite direction at the same time, it doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense.